Howdy friends, Guthrie Trapp here in East Nashville, Tennessee. Want to say happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody here on this nice Sunday. Had a great night at the Station Inn last night. Tons of great friends came out, and man, it was such a fun night playing the guitar with Jimmy Stewart and all of our favorite band members down there, Steve Conn, Pete Abbott, and everybody, Mike Bubb. And man, you know what? I just wanted to cover, I wanted to get into this playing over chord changes a little bit more in depth. And some of you guys have seen this chord progression that I did with Brett Papa, and I wanted to get more involved in that and kind of really go through and break this stuff down the best that I know how. The chord progression is E to A flat 7 or G sharp 7, dominant 7, which is a 3 of E. So that's the 3. Then we're going to go to the 6 minor 7, which is C sharp minor 7 or D flat minor 7. Then we're going to go to E7 out of our C-shaped E chord. We're going to play the E7 like this, adding our D on the G string, 7th fret. Then we're going to go to the 4 chord, the A, to the 5, B, and then back to E. You can turn this around, going back to E, B before the progression starts again. So this progression is going to sound like this. Starting over. So the cool thing about this is it gets you playing a little bit out of your comfort zone. If you're used to playing a regular 1-4-5 or a blues progression, this throws something at you that's a little different. You're having to really think about playing over that change. Now I could play really simply over that in an E pentatonic shape, and as long as I play it really safe, it's going to be okay. But if I want to really color it and play over that change, I'm having to really look at how that third is being used, and be careful how we approach that, because when you go to this chord, there's a lot of harmonic change there in tonality. So you're going up to that, you're moving that major third of E. Really changing. So we're going to get into this in a minute. And then that tone is leading your ear to that 6 minor. So it's a really fun change to play over. But we're really having to break this down. So the way that you look at this, and again, you'll hear me talk about chord changes over and over and over again, is because it really, really works. And the more you can visualize the key notes of these chords, it's really, really, really going to help you play up the neck and not get lost. And when you start connecting your pentatonic shapes to the chord shapes and seeing the key notes, it takes all the guesswork out of it and enables you to, when you do start getting more advanced in connecting notes with chromatics and different kind of things like that, it takes the guesswork out of it to where you're not hunting and pecking for those notes. So it just creates a really, really solid fundamental. So with that being said, here is a couple cool exercises that can get you thinking about playing over this change and how that third really it affects the when your ear hears that, it knows that it's outlining that chord, because it's as simple as this. The note, the chord that changes, when that changes, the notes in the chord are the ones you have to outline when you're soloing over this to make it sound like you're playing over the change, because it's the notes that change in the chord. It's that simple. It's such a simple concept. It's just you have to spend a little time with the fundamentals, learning the notes, the key notes of that the chords, and really visualizing the chords. That's all it comes down to. So what I'll do is I'll show you this exercise here where I'm just playing 1, 3, 5 over these chords. So when I'm in E, I'm going to play 1, 3, 5. That outlines my major chord. When I hit that G sharp, that tells me I'm in E major. So I'm going to play 1, 3, 5. And then when I go to this chord, A flat or G sharp dominant 7, that's a dominant 7 chord. So I've got my flat 7, but I've still got the major third. So I'm going to play 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 in that chord. So far we've got E, 1, 3, 5. We've got G sharp, 1, 3, 5. And when we go to the minor, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5. So what I'm doing, since that's a minor chord, I'm playing 1 flat 3, 5. So instead of this, I'm playing, that covers that chord. I'm playing 1 flat 3, 5. Now when I go to my E7, I'm just going to play 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 out of that C shape. So, and we'll cover the flat 7 in a minute when I do the more advanced version of this. So we're going to go 1, 3, 5. Then when we go to the 4 chord A, 1, 3, 5. 1, 3, 5 in B, and then back to your E. Now I'm going to do a more advanced arpeggio where I'm adding one more note. I'm going to color it even more. I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, and complete the octave on my E. I'm going to go 1, 3, 5, 1. So that's going to sound like this. And then when I go to my G sharp dominant 7, there, since it's dominant 7, I'm going to add the flat 7 to outline that dominant 7 chord. So far, that outlines dominant 7. When I go to the minor, I'm just going to play the 1, flat 3, 5, and then the 1 again. Now when it goes to E7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, because I'm outlining that chord. So now that is taking me to A. So when I go to A, I'm going to play 1, 3, 5, 1. And then when I go to B7, the 5 chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7, and then back to E. You can do it here or here. So we're arpeggiating through these chords a little bit and starting to see the structure of what changes harmonically when we're playing over chord shapes. The 1, 3, 5, that's a huge way to outline these chords. And then that turns into this. So over this E shape. Now when you take that a step further, and you start arpeggiating through these whole things, then I connected my C shape with this. So I'm connecting, your D shape, E, to your C shape with the pentatonics. So when I come down that chord, or up the chord, G sharp 7, 1, 3, 5, flat 7. Now I'm going to do the same thing this octave. 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And now watch. So then the minor. I'm arpeggiating right through that chord. So. E7 E7, or here's your 6 minor first, right through the chord, then E7. Let's stop there on that one. So we'll go back down. So right through that chord, and then A, B, B7. You can walk down the scale back to your E and start all over again. So that is really, really breaking this down and arpeggiating through those chords, seeing those chord shapes. The other thing that I like to do with this chord shape that's a lot of fun, and it really breaks it down, is just taking your triads out of these chords, your E shape, your 3 notes. Take 3 notes out of any triad. Let's take the middle one. Let's take our C shape. Let's take B, G, and D string. And I'm going to play my E chord. Then I'm going to go to my 3. Then my minor. E7. A. B. E. So I'm doing all that right here because I'm seeing those shapes. So I'm seeing this. I'm just moving a couple notes because I'm seeing how close all those shapes are. So when you're soloing and you're seeing those shapes and how they're changing, those are the notes that you use when you're soloing. And that combined with the arpeggios, visualizing the chords, the arpeggios, and some simple, like the minor scale around that chord. Right? And then if you go to your E7, you can use the Mixolydian. A, B. I'm improvising a little bit, but once you see these shapes in the arpeggios, you can really, really break out of that and see, like if I take this shape here, just my major third on E, on the G and the high E string, and I do this into that E shape, I know that's coming out of that chord shape. So now watch right there, I can see that note already is part of that G sharp 7. So right there, all I do when it changes is I raise that to the major third to outline that chord. So as soon as you hear this, that's outlining that chord. Up to that, right? Now watch, I'm seeing my minor shape here, this minor, so I'm already here, and then I'm already seeing that shape. So I know I can do that, my E shape, and then walking down to there, that covers my minor. Now watch, E7, slide from E shape to my D shape because I'm looking at that chord. So, and then watch A, right there because there's my A chord. So B, right, and then right back to my E shape. Covers that perfectly. So it's all about seeing these shapes. So when I'm playing out of E here, if I just take this D-shaped E chord, play these 2 notes, my E and my B string, just that shape of it, watch, same concept. Right? So I know that my 3 is right there, so I'm already here. So raise that. Right? I'm there, so I know my minor is right there because there's my 6 minor. So I've got this already. Then look, because E shape. So these two notes, that covers E7. A shape is right there. So watch. There's my B, because there's B. Right back to E. So it's seeing these shapes over and over again just to where you know it inside and out. The arpeggios and just seeing those, how the major third really changes, you know, and hearing that change with those chords. And of course I can show you more of this stuff, you know, if we ever do a lesson together or anything like that. But that is how I'm looking at it. The chords are, if you can do those fundamentals, like I'm showing you, the rest just opens, I mean, just opens up so clear and the light bulb goes on for sure. So let me know what you think of that, and looking forward to doing some more stuff coming up soon, friends, and we'll get more involved in this. I'll just improvise a little bit over what this can sound like when you get this together. I'm not promising that there won't be any mistakes, but here we go. All right, friends, thanks so much. We'll see you real soon. All right, take care.